Well, hey there, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the Alex Build Stuff Show. It's that show where I build stuff and I show you. This is part 2 of a 2-part series covering the modifications that we've just done in our van Betty. If you guys haven't seen part 1, I'll link it right here. I suggest if you guys haven't seen part 1, go watch it. It'll get you all caught up on what has happened already. In this episode, we are going to discover what has gone wrong. And there was a fair amount that went wrong. Let's get on with the video. Well, the saga continues. We went out for a short test drive yesterday just to see how everything was. And as soon as I hit a bump, there was a loud clunking out of the suspension, which I think I've narrowed down to the damage that I did to the frame when I was trying to get that seized leaf spring out. We're going to get packed up, jump in the van, drive 20 minutes north to Lauren's place. There's a guy here in Phoenix, Arizona that has graciously agreed to lend me his welder. That means we're gonna get there, drop the driver's side leaf spring, and then I'm gonna get in there with the welder and just weld a nice big fat washer over top of the hole that I rounded out, and then it should solve the issue. Emphasis on should. Let's do that, and then hopefully we can start our exceptionally long drive to the Mexican border, which is going to take a long time because we're only allowed to do 35 miles an hour, or 35 miles at a time at 55 miles an hour. Cool. Well, we're just about at Lauren's place now, and hopefully we can get this issue resolved pronto.
Another day, another shot.
Living and traveling out of your van presents a unique challenge when it comes to modifying or fixing your vehicle. Every time you wish to do anything that involves upgrades or maintenance, you have to bring your house with you. Basically, everything we own exists within the walls of our van, so we don't really feel comfortable handing it over to others to be worked on. Also, to cut on costs, we try to do our own work whenever possible.
That right there is our problem. You can see the hole is ovalized. So I need to grind that down, then put a big washer over top.
Lauren reached out via Instagram and offered me the use of his shop in the event that we needed it. When I realized I needed a welder, I was thrilled to find out he has one and was willing to let me use it.
So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna weld this washer right onto here, and then it should strengthen everything up and solve our issue, and we won't have any play in there anymore. That's what I'm doing.
Better work.
Yeah.
Or else.
The alternative was possibly paying someone else to do the work. And as you'll find out, there was a lot more to do than just this small job.
The best welding job, but it's really hard to get in there. And we also reinforced this side as well, so that there's really almost zero movement in there. So when I put this through, I actually have to thread it through, so there's no play in there anymore, which is a huge bonus. Vinyl can to cover up all that shoddy welding of mine. There you go.
Oh, that is toxic.
Yes, it is.
Yowza.
Smells like progress. I think we're gonna do the same thing.
Fixing the rounded out hole took only about 4 hours to complete, and we were soon back to reassembly, but we weren't out of the woods yet.
Cuddles.
My neighbors have two.
Just gonna lay
He's ready to move in.
Hello, cutie.
Got the straddle going.
You're like them apples. Yeah.
Oh boy. What's he on about?
Can't touch this. So the next task we have is to get the axle back because it's shifted forward. I need to get the pin back in place, so I'm going to just put a strap on the frame, see if I can just pull it back.
Careful, he goes racing after him.
Oh yeah, I did it. Heck yeah.
Popped right in, huh?
Yeah.
Ow! Stupid dangly thing. I always hit my head on it.
Home stretch, Alex. Come on. Go, go, go.
My shoulders are done.
Well, I'm under the van again today.
What else is new?
So while driving home from Lauren's place last night, or driving back to Jose's driveway from Lauren's place last night, I heard a whining from the gears on decel at around 30, 40 miles per hour. After some research, I have a few things to check. So I'm just dropping the drive shaft right now to check if there's any kind of pinion play. And then I'm gonna open up the diff and check if there's any flakes in our oil. And barring those two things, then I'm gonna be calling Let's Roll and see what advice they have for us. So it might mean that we're stuck in Phoenix for a little bit longer. Yay! So we got a little bit of, this is just backlash here. Zero plate. Well, our oil looks clean. I mean, I have now done my due diligence. I've checked what I can. So it's up to whatever the guys at the shop tell me. And guess what? We are back here at Lauren's place. So it looks like the fix that I did yesterday maybe hasn't worked. So it's raining out here and it's cold, so Lauren's place is dry and warm. So we're gonna get in there and pull the back end apart yet again to figure out what didn't work. And then tomorrow we're gonna head back to Let's Roll so that they can listen to the gears whine and hopefully give us some kind of conclusive answers. And yeah, just maintaining hope that we will actually leave Phoenix one day.
The previous day's fix was fine, but we did find out something else.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so what we have discovered is that these factory bolts mic out to like 13.8 millimeters or something like that. And the ones that came in those shackles that I bought from Rock Auto are like 13.6. So I'm just gonna clean these up and reuse them. And then I'm just gonna tighten those bushings down like crazy. And I think that's the issue, because I checked the bolt up front and there's like, again, like a 3-second play. And if it's still bumping around after that, I don't know what the heck is going on.
Also, while inspecting the spring perch, I found multiple rust holes and decided to do a quick fix while I had access to a welder and scrap steel. With that out of the way, we popped the driver's side spring back in place and lined up for the passenger side.
Are you kidding me? What the heck? It just like, bloop.
Something's working better.
Something is going our way. Yes, it is going my way. Ha ha!
A wise mechanic once told me that when addressing an unknown problem, start with the least expensive fix first and then move to the bigger ones. We all have the tendency to jump to the worst conclusion and can often overlook the simple fix. At this point, the bolt sizing seemed to be the easiest and least expensive fix, albeit possibly misguided.
Well, we have managed to get the other side back together, so we're gonna go do a test drive. And if it's still funking around, I have no idea what it is. And we'll have to consult someone that is far better at dealing with vehicles than I am.
All right, here we go. Where's our first big bump?
Where the trunks at?
No clunks yet. Is there a ditch there? Let's go straight. Yep.
Yep.
Clunk's still there.
Still there. Well, the results are still inconclusive. There's still a really loud thunking noise coming from the rear suspension somewhere. I've checked over the underside of the van. Everything is tight. Nothing is broken. The answer to this question is somehow eluding me, and it's really, really frustrating, especially seeing as we want to get out of Phoenix so bad. It's almost been 3 weeks stuck in the city and not traveling around. So hopefully tomorrow we'll at least sort out one issue, which is the gears, and then maybe this clunking will sort itself out further on down the road. Yeah, that's all I can say for now. I'm really tired. How does it look?
That's money.
Yeah?
It's golden.
There doesn't seem to be any kind of wear. That wear pattern seems to be pretty spot on the middle. Well, there you go. That's a rear diff. And that's a G80 golf lock in there. Gold.
So the guys here are just going to refill the diff with 85 140, which is a way heavier oil than what I have in there, and the wear pattern looks really good. There's no flakes or anything like that in the oil, so it looks like it's a good wearing thus far. There's a little collar around the pinion seal, and they think that maybe it's been rubbing, so yeah, better safe than sorry, and hopefully the rest goes really smoothly and we can just drive on to Mexico and enjoy the sunshine and beaches, because it's about friggin' time. Well, we've got the van back. So we did our due diligence, and the guys here at Let's Roll, you know, they took care of us, no questions asked, and I think we're safe to just start heading towards California now, and we're gonna go find the desert and the quiet, because we have been in the city for way too long. Well, we're almost out of Phoenix. I'm just grabbing some lunch. I made me a quesadilla.
Thanks, Jose.
With Jose's carne asada. And I think I may have finally figured out the issue. After a little bit of research and comparing, I got the bolt that came with the shackle into like a little gauge. And I realized that 14 millimeters is actually smaller than 9/16. And the Chevys are actually supposed to come with a 9/16. For whatever reason, they put a 14 millimeter bolt in the shackles that I got from Rock Auto, which are just that much smaller to give you a large amount of play. When I replace the shackle bolts that are in there currently with these, then it should take up the rest of the slack and give us a smoother ride. But let me tell you, I'm happy to have probably figured out the issue. So let's leave Phoenix and be done with this epic saga of disappointment. Oh boy. Well, one of these days we're gonna find a quiet place again. We wound up stopping off on the side of the highway last night because, in fact, we did not want to drive away from Phoenix any further. The gears in the rear diff are howling. We can hear the whine of the gears over the road noise doing 55, 60 miles an hour down the highway, which I think is saying something. It seems whenever the gear oil heats up, it just gets louder. I don't really know what to do at this point. I'm going to be calling the shop this morning to just discuss my options. I think at this point it's probably more of a warranty thing, like the gears are bad. I did look at the pattern yesterday and I saw that the pattern was really good and there's no flaking in the oil whatsoever. And I know for a fact that I've done my break-in properly and I'm continuing to do the break-in properly, but they're not getting any quieter. And I've been told by multiple sources, the internet, friends, other mechanics I know, that they're not going to get any quieter ever. So I guess the saga is not over. It continues, and we're just persevering, and we know as long as we keep on going forward, we're not going backwards.
See that I got a new bolt in there now. That's the actual 9/16 bolt, and should, well, it fills the sleeve perfectly in there. I accomplished this by just putting a jack in between the frame and the axle, pushing it up, and then put a pin bar through here, punched it out, and yeah.
We just got the bolts in. I'm gonna do a little test drive. See if anything's changed.
Fingers crossed.
Nope, nothing's changed. Cool. Well, we're back at our favorite city in America, Phoenix, Arizona. We're back here because the gear wine has evolved to a wine on acceleration and deceleration, and we now have driveline vibration. So something in the rear diff is deteriorating. While we're waiting for the gears to be shipped, we're going to take care of the last couple things on Betty. We're going to install the last of the bolts in the rear springs, and hopefully we get rid of the clunk, and we're also going to replace lower ball joints. One day we'll get out of Phoenix. Alright, so we're back here at Jose's place. I have just slipped the first bolt into the driver's side leaf spring, and it went right in, no issues. I think what I'm going to do is I'm also going to replace that front bolt up there and just take up whatever slack is actually in the bushing sleeve there. And once all 6 bolts are replaced in the leaf springs, I may actually have taken up all the slack that I needed to. I've replaced the 2 final bolts in the rear shackles, so I'm going to do a test drive and just see if it's changed anything. And if not, then I know for certain that the last thing I have to do is replace the front bolts. Yep, gotta replace this front bolts. Well, as you saw yesterday, as soon as I rolled off the driveway, I knew that the bolts had to be replaced in the front, so I immediately went over to Ace Hardware. I got myself some 9/16 bolts, so I'm going to install those now. And as the theme of this entire story has gone thus far, hope that it is the answer. Alright, test drive number 2. Yes! Yes, yes!
It's not there anymore?
No, it's not. Yes! No, it's there. It's still there. Fuck!
Oh, shit.
Okay, so test drive number 3, we're going to test the theory that I thought not to test a long time ago. I just undid the shocks, and nope, not the shocks. Okay. I know what it is. I know what it is, Jose. I finally figured it out. I can't believe we just figured out what it is. I'm keeping Craig in suspense because he wants to know what it is. Jose wants to know what it is.
Yes.
And only I know what it is. Okay. We crawl under here. Right there. The shackle's contacting the body. Just smacking it because they're longer springs, and so the springs are actually pushing the shackle further back than before, and it's hitting the frame or hitting the chassis or the body. I can't believe it.
So you
see it
Right there.
So you've replaced these bolts 16 times for nothing? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Good.
You know, it takes a female to turn around and break it down into its simplest, most complex form of what did we just figure out. God bless you, girl. God bless you.
God bless you. Okay, well, I can fix that really easy now.
Why didn't you ask me to just drive the van and you look this whole time?
Excellent question. But you know what? Hindsight is 20/20 and a total bitch.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. We're here anyways.
Okay, so I've got the tires off. Watch as I lower the axle.
So that shackle pulled away from the body. So now somehow I got to get in there and hammer that back and just clearance it so that we don't run into this issue again.
Alright, so that didn't really work at all. We only bent it in like a little bit. So we've got another idea. This right here is solid steel. And we're just gonna perch it up here, put the wheels back on, and then drive off the driveway and see if it moves it. And hopefully it just presses it back enough that there's enough clearance.
We haven't really looked at it.
So our fix worked. So you can see the steel square stock that we put in there actually clearanced it a lot more. So if it's still hitting, then we can just put the square stock back in there and clearance it more. All right, test drive number 4. Oh, very, very minimal. Pump there. Nothing. I think we did it. I think we did it. Whew, 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 whew. Bump coming through. Boom. Quiet, baby! You! All right, next round's on Jose.
Way to go!
We finally did it. No more noise. We can almost go to Baja. Almost.
2.
Well, we're back here at Let's Roll, dropping off the van to get new gears. Hopefully this is the one. Fingers crossed. Well, folks, that is it for this video. It has been well over a month since we first arrived in Phoenix. What we have done to the van has been huge. Since arriving, we have upgraded our rear springs. We have completely replaced the rear axle. We have re-geared that axle twice. What you guys didn't see was me and Jose replacing the front ball joints in the van and replacing them with HD ball joints as well. I replaced a front wheel bearing, which is the second of this trip thus far. I upgraded all of the shackle bolts to 9/16 grade 8 bolts, modded our Starlink for 12 volt and flat mount, and also repaired our solar panels, which blew over in the wind while we were out in the desert. It's been a month of work and toil and an incredible challenge and test of our patience and resilience. We picked up the van from Let's Roll Off-Road yesterday and drove up to here just outside of Phoenix. And I have to say that our experience with Let's Roll has been really, really good. They 100%, no question asked, warrantied our gears. And it seems from the drive here that we now have a silent set of gears, which is a huge relief. We can now confidently go to Baja, drive around, and not worry about the gears. We have already noticed a huge difference in the amount of power that the van has with the re-gear, and it's really nice to have a van that drives like it did right off the factory floor. Driving in here, we had some kind of bumpy gravel roads, a little bit of a bumpy drive down here, and we've already noticed a huge difference as well with the rear springs. They are buttery. As well, I just want to say a huge shout out to Jose and Jenna and their family for taking us in for the past month. It has been a huge blessing to us to have someone give us a driveway, a place to shower, a place to ship stuff to. Jose insisted on feeding us and made coffee for us every single morning. I mean, what better experience could we have had? So thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. You guys don't realize how much you have actually done for us, and to have the safety and security while waiting for our home to be fixed was a real gift. So thank you so much. I also want to say thank you to Lauren and Carla for lending us the use of your shop, helping me to get that fix done, and being willing to troubleshoot and give me ideas. And all of your hospitality and generosity is very much felt. So thank you very much, Lauren and Carla. We have really been taken care of during a difficult part of our journey. And I say to almost everyone that I meet, if you want to restore your faith in humanity, just go and travel. We have barely made it out of our neighboring country, and we have already experienced such generosity and hospitality. And it makes us really look forward to our future travels as we aim towards heading to South America one day.
For a full performance review on the WeldTec progressive leaf springs, new gears, and axle, stay tuned on this channel. I will be dropping that sometime next weekend with a little bit of drive time in between so that we can get a better idea of just how well the van does perform. Stay tuned for that and many videos afterwards of us testing the limits of the van and just seeing what Betty is made of as we drive the back roads of Baja. It's going to be a slightly different trip than last year as we really start to push ourselves to really get out into the back roads and see the unexplored or less explored regions of the Baja Peninsula. Thank you so much guys for being here. We really appreciate you guys watching our videos. If you enjoyed this video or if it helped you in any kind of way, leave a comment in the comment section below. We really love to read and respond to all of your comments. And until the next one, keep on roaming. Peace.